Hello boys and girls, you're watching Fusion Indie on YouTube. Today we're on Anime Universe Simulator once again, and today I wanted to answer a question from one of our fans who left me a message and asked if I could go over a few of the curses and give an explanation of what they do and my thoughts on them. DB_09, thank you for the question. So that is what we are going to do today. We're going to go over a few of these things, and I'm going to give you my thoughts, which may not be 100% correct, but they will give you the basic of what these things are, and just my thoughts on what I think how they will help you in game. So let's jump right into that. As you guys know, we've been working our tail off on these teams. We've got a really decent team going right now. We have 3 vigilantes. 2 of them have egoist. We have 3 Kokoshubos. 1 of them has egoist, and the other 3 have assassin. So in game, if you wanted to know what these curses are and what they do, I'm pretty sure it tells you what they do. If it doesn't, I will provide a document in the description of this video that will tell you what they do. But you're going to go to the curse domain, and you're going to come up here and you're going to talk to this guy right here. Once you press the E button, you're going to come up here to the curse index, and you're going to click on that. And there you go. So, this is how these curses work. You come into this spot, you would select a mod that you're not using, that's not currently in your team. If it's somebody that's supposed to be in your team, you just simply unequip them and re-equip them, and that will be the difference maker for you. But we're going to just go into the details of what some of these are and how they work. So, if you are trying to level a character up from its original point that you got it, Brainiac is going to be your main curse that you're going to want to use. And the reason I say that is because Brainiac gives you a reduction in the amount of XP required to do that level. Brainiac 1 changes it from 100% XP to 80% XP needed. Brainiac 2 takes it all the way down to 60% needed. And then, of course, the best one of those 3 would be Brainiac 3, and it drops it down to 40% needed. So if you need 100 XP to level for your next level, it then only becomes 40 XP needed. Now, there are debuffs to every single curse in the game. So this, the debuff for this would be that you move slower. Then you step into the Thief, which gives you extra yen for your every attack that you do, but then it causes you to it requires you to need more XP. So this is not a good one in my opinion. Yen is very easy to come by. That's why I have trillions of it, as you can see. I generally do not ever use this. I have never found a reason to use this. Even in the beginning of the game, it wasn't necessary. There's Thief 1, 2, and 3 as usual. More yen, and even more yen. All with the same debuff. Then we're going to step right into Fragger. Fragger causes you to do more damage to the smaller characters in the game, the minions, but gives you less damage against the big bosses. In the earlier stages of the game, this can be helpful if you're not fighting a lot of bosses. But if you are hatching and attacking the boss, then this is not such a great thing because you're not really attacking these minions when you're farming your hatches. So that's not such a great thing. It does get a little bit better each stage for the minion damage, all the way up to ×2. But again, right here, you see that you're not doing as much damage. So then let's step into Sniper. Sniper does the exact opposite. Sniper will increase your boss damage and reduce your minion damage. So that makes Sniper not a bad one when it comes to the overall farming and your overall team damage. Look at that, Sniper 3. Again, there's a Sniper 2, we just skipped over it. Does 1.5, Sniper 3 does ×2 damage. This is a great one for when you're farming, because this is not a huge loss to your team. The only time this would affect you is in arenas. I really like Sniper 3. Then we have what is called Tiny, because as you see we finished off those. Tiny gives you massive movement speed, a huge attack speed bonus, and it makes you smaller in size, which is why you move faster and you attack faster. However, your overall damage for that character drops by 15%. That's not great. It was still a cool one to use in the beginning. I did use it quite a bit in the beginning of the game. Then you're going to go to the exact opposite side of that, and you're going to look at Giant. Giant makes you a lot bigger, increases your damage overall, but it makes your attack speed go down and your movement speed go down. So if you're trying to if you're trying to send your minions back and forth between a lot of other minions, it kind of slows them down to where they're going to be left behind. Their attacks are going to go a lot slower. I'm not a super big fan of Giant. There's another one that's even worse. Now, for some reason, this is worse, and I just didn't understand the point of Colossus. Colossus gives you more minion damage, does the same bonus damage, and makes you even bigger. But again, your attack speed is reduced and your movement speed is reduced. Now, as you notice, your attack speed is not quite as reduced, but your movement speed is even reduced even more, which makes it take longer for him to get there and be able to join the attack. I'm not a big fan of this at all. Marksman guarantees that you're going to get a critical with every single strike, but it makes it so that your ultimate takes 2 more charges. Every time you attack a minion or a boss, your ultimate builds up a little by little. This adds 2 more attacks that you have to do before you can go into your ultimate. Now let's get into the top 3. There's a major difference between these 3 and what they actually do for you. So let's start out with what I would call the roughest one of the 3. My least favorite of the 3. And the reason that this is my least favorite is because this would have, let's say you put this on your level 100 Kokobo. It's great for right now. For this week, it would be great because he's already maxed out. But then at the beginning of the next update, when I need to raise him another 10 levels, the XP required to level is multiplied by 2. So that makes this really, really insane to have to deal with. But on the positive side, you get a ×5 movement speed. It makes him so fast. He's the first one to attack every single time. It reduces your ultimate by 1. It gives you an attack speed of ×2, and it increases your damage. This is an overall nice thing right here. If it wasn't for this debuff, I would love this right here. Supersonic would be awesome if it wasn't for that right there. But again, I don't want to have to farm for one of these mythics and then have to turn around the very next week and replace it because of this. So that leaves it down to the final 2. You have Assassin and Egoist. Assassin is very, very nice. The only negative to Assassin is that you take a little bit less yen. But again, yen is so easy to come by in this game that doesn't really hurt. I've never even noticed a difference. 3 of the current guys that I'm using right now have this buff. And it's because they get a 1.25 multiplier to our boss damage and a 1.75 damage buff to our overall damage. That's amazing. It is such a good good curse to put on your mods. Then we have Egoist. This is what everybody goes for because has such a huge negative to it. Egoist makes your attack speed 1.35. So you get increased attack speed. This is the highest damage buff in the game currently. You multiply your damage by 2.25. That is extreme. This allows me to have some extremely strong mons. The only negative is that your overall team damage takes a slight hit. But again, if you're maxing them out with Assassin or Egoist or even Supersonic, your team damage is your damage per mon is so high that this is really going to be hardly noticeable. So that's why I have 3 guys with this right now, because they get this huge damage bonus right here. Their attack speed is insane. It's really, really good buff. This is probably one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of both of these right here. Like I said, I would like this one even more if the buff wasn't so rough. I think taking it all the way to a ×2 XP needed is just a little bit extreme. I think they need to nerf that down a little bit. Maybe make it 1.25 or 1.5, but ×2ing your XP when you're trying to raise these guys up from like level 90 to 91, 99 to 100. That's a lot of XP that's already needed. And making it ×2 just makes it take so long that I just don't enjoy this one. Well, there you go, boys and girls. We pretty much covered all of the curses that you can get in the game. I want to thank you for watching. And I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you guys come check out my streams, twitch.tv/FusionIndie.